Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unlocking the secrets of the Etsy digital marketplace. Selling digital products on Etsy is this incredibly popular, low-investment business model. And honestly, for good reason. You create a product literally once, and you can sell it an infinite number of times. Sounds great, right? But hold on. Before you start counting all that passive income, you really need to know that navigating this platform takes way more than just uploading a quick PDF and waiting for the cash to roll in. Actually, there are some massive, literally store-closing mistakes that beginners make every single day. So we're going to unpack exactly how to avoid those pitfalls and turn your ideas into a highly profitable digital empire.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got a really clear roadmap for today. Number 1, surviving Etsy's strict rules. Number 2, designing highly profitable products. 3, perfecting your digital listing. And finally, 4, building a long-term brand. Let's get to it.
Section 1, surviving Etsy's strict rules.
So the digital landscape is honestly full of legal landmines, and one wrong step can get your shop permanently suspended. The foundational rule here is incredibly simple. You must own or properly license the content you're selling. Doing things the right way means creating totally original planners, custom SVG files, or unique wedding templates right from scratch. But the dangerous reality? Well, beginners often try uploading Disney characters, Marvel logos, stuff like that. And let me tell you, doing this isn't just frowned upon, it leads directly to listing removals, copyright strikes, and a permanent ban from the entire platform. No way around it.
Let's talk about Canva's licensing terms for a second, since it's such a massive tool for Etsy sellers. Now, you're absolutely allowed to significantly customize their templates. Think completely redesigning a budget planner using multiple personalized elements. What is strictly forbidden, though, is lazy design. Downloading a Canva planner, making a tiny color change, and then trying to resell that exact template as your own. Yeah, that is not allowed.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where you actually find safe assets to use. Here's a quick rapid-fire safe list for you. We've got Google Fonts, Creative Fabrica, just make sure you get the commercial license, Envato, Pixabay, and Unsplash for photos. You literally have to verify commercial use licenses for every single font, icon, and mockup you use. Downloading some random free font from the internet without commercial rights, that's basically a ticking time bomb for legal complaints down the road.
Which brings us to the famous trademark traps. There's this common beginner myth out there that if you just change a design slightly or draw it yourself, you somehow magically bypass trademark laws. That is absolutely incorrect. Even if you hand-drew a perfectly wonky Mickey Mouse yourself, the trademarked name alone is a trap that will shut your shop down. Using terms like Harry Potter planner or Nike workout template in your titles or tags, you will get caught, for sure. You've got to stick entirely to safe, original, unbranded designs.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, designing highly profitable products.
All right, we've made it past the legal traps, so now let's go on the offensive. The absolute backbone of your shop really should be what we call evergreen products. These are digital items that sell consistently, day in and day out throughout the entire year. Think along the lines of invoice templates, budget trackers, or resume templates. People are always going to need these. Now, the smartest sellers out there, they blend these steady, evergreen earners with seasonal products, like Diwali cards or Halloween invitations, just to catch those massive holiday traffic spikes. Having a mix of both ensures you get consistent income plus those sweet seasonal bonuses.
But here's the real challenge with digital products. Your customers can't actually touch them. Since there's no physical item, your visual presentation has to do literally all the heavy lifting. Superior previews are completely non-negotiable. We're talking realistic mockups, clean thumbnails, zoomed-in previews, and slides that highlight the core features. Showing exactly what an invoice looks like on both a desktop screen and a mobile phone, that directly drives higher click-through rates. Honestly, if they can't visualize using it, they simply aren't going to buy it.
You also really need to know what to design. If you try selling a basic daily planner, your listing is going to drown instantly in an incredibly overcrowded ocean. So what's the secret? You got to pivot to highly unique, targeted niches. Instead of a general planner, maybe create a jewelry business order tracker or a highly specialized GST invoice template for Indian sellers. Specificity really stands out here. It solves a precise problem and commands a very willing buyer.
Which leads us nicely to Section 3, perfecting your digital listing. Now that you actually have a targeted product, your product description cannot just be an afterthought. This is where we really drill into the mechanics of your product page. You have to be crystal clear here to reduce customer frustration and entirely avoid refund requests. Your checklist should explicitly state exactly what the buyer receives, the file formats, any software required, and the fact that this is an instant download. Just adding a simple line like, "This listing includes one editable PDF, no physical item shipped," will completely save you from the nightmare of a customer asking when their digital file is arriving in the mail.
Now, what's really interesting about this next point is how much it affects your visibility. Let's talk SEO, or search engine optimization. Titling your product something vague like "beautiful template" gives the Etsy search algorithm literally zero idea who to show it to. It's just terrible SEO. Contrast that with highly searchable tags like "editable invoice template for small business, Canva invoice." See the difference? Those are the exact phrases a buyer is typing into the search bar. Better keywords mean massive, massive visibility.
Let's move over to pricing, and I want to hit you with the sobering reality of the $2 template. Look, a lot of beginners just completely ignore fees and set their prices dangerously low, trying to undercut the competition. But remember, Etsy charges listing fees, transaction fees, payment processing fees, and even optional ad fees. If you price your beautifully complex digital template at just $2, those layered fees are going to eat your actual profit alive. You're running a real business here, so you've got to price your work sustainably.
Now, because there's no physical shipping happening, digital buyers expect instant access, period. If you're selling a Canva template, you can't just send them a raw, messy link. The absolute pro move here, upload a clean, standard PDF right to Etsy. Inside that PDF, you embed your Canva access link, some basic instructions, and your support details. This ensures the customer gets a secure file instantly, and you get way fewer confused messages blowing up your inbox.
Finally, we arrive at Section 4, Building a Long-Term Brand.
Making a few quick sales is definitely fun, but if you want to build a stable, long-term brand, you have to focus on a few unglamorous pillars. First up, yes, even digital products require customer support. Buyers are absolutely going to ask you how to edit the file, why you're having download issues, or how to fix their printing margins. Fast, genuinely helpful replies regarding those software or downloading problems directly translate to 5-star reviews. And those 5-star reviews, they're the social proof that builds your shop's reputation and skyrockets your search ranking.
Okay, here is your digital insurance policy. Backup. Everything. You really need to maintain backups of your source files, the specific fonts you used, your commercial licenses, your Canva links, and of course, your final customer files. Think about it. If your computer completely crashes tomorrow, you shouldn't lose your entire business. So use Google Drive, Dropbox, or an external hard drive to protect your digital assets religiously. Don't skip this.
Furthermore, you really need to treat this like the real business it is by following local and international tax rules. Depending on where you live, you absolutely have to understand income tax reporting. For instance, our source specifically notes that Indian sellers have to navigate GST registration, export compliance, and LUT for exports when dealing with foreign payments. It's a lot, I know, but do not let your business grow faster than your legal compliance. It's just not worth the risk. So, the crucial point here is that ultimately successful sellers build cohesive brands, not digital junk drawers. If you have a random mix store selling dog clip art right next to wedding invites and budget spreadsheets, it just confuses buyers and leads to incredibly low repeat customers. On the flip side, a consistent brand that focuses deeply on, say, only professional business templates, that becomes a go-to resource. It drives repeat buyers who truly trust your specific aesthetic and quality.
So before you hit publish on your very next listing, I want you to run through this final checklist to really cement your foundation. Ask yourself, do I own or properly license everything I used? Is this product genuinely useful and highly searchable? Is my preview professional? Is my listing description crystal clear? And can buyers easily download and use it? Honestly, originality, consistency, proper licensing, and strong SEO, these are your absolute keys to longevity on the platform.
Which leaves us with this final thought. You now know the rules of the road, the legal traps to avoid, and the SEO strategies that command real attention. So what does this all mean? Well, the real question is, are you going to keep throwing random digital files at the wall hoping something sticks? Or are you ready to act like an empire builder and engineer a lasting, highly profitable business? The digital marketplace is waiting for you to decide. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.